My friend didn't make me her bridesmaid. I feel betrayed.
Ooh, betrayed as a maid.
I'm getting married in June. I'm going to have my friend Jim as my dude of honor and my friend Jane as my bridesmaid. Jim and I have been friends since college, but my friendship with Jane is longer and a bit more complicated. By the way, this comes from Wedding Throw 1092, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. We started to be friends in high school where we were friends with two other girls. They'll be important later. Typical teenager and 20-something drama happened, and I'm not close with the two other girls anymore. One straight up said that she didn't want to be friends with me anymore, and I guess the other friend just followed her lead. I'll admit that Jane and I used to be closer when we were younger, and we drifted apart, but I still considered her a close friend. When I got engaged, I asked Jane to be my bridesmaid. When I asked, she was kind of hesitant. She was engaged too, and said that we'd probably be planning weddings at the same time, and she was worried that she wouldn't be able to devote a lot of time to my wedding. I told her it was going to be super laid back and she wouldn't have to do too much, and that I wanted her there, so she agreed. Planning the wedding has had its own ups and downs, lots of drama from family, but Jane has been a good enough bridesmaid. My friend Jim has been planning my bachelorette, and they both went to see me get my veil. I think she could stand to be a bit more involved, but considering distance and time, she's doing enough. When Jane first got engaged, she wasn't even sure if she wanted to have a traditional wedding. She was talking about doing something really small and only inviting immediate family and close friends. It turns out that she actually is going to have a ceremony and reception in the fall. I awkwardly found out over dinner after pushing her for wedding details that she was planning on having bridesmaids, and I wasn't one of them. She claimed it was because I live far away. Not really. We live in different cities on the East Coast and are about a train ride away. And she didn't want to bother me because I'd be busy with my wedding and marriage. To make matters worse, the two girls I had a falling out with are, of course, in the wedding. It hurts so much since I assumed that we'd all be together during our weddings. I'm hurt. Jane and I went through a lot together, and I really wanted her to be a part of my wedding. I'm hurt that she doesn't feel the same way. When I told my mom, she was shocked and said how rude Jane was. My fiance said it was okay to feel hurt and that it was a wiener move, but that Jane also has a right to have whoever she wants in her wedding party. Am I wrong for feeling like this? Should I confront her? I don't even know if I want her in my wedding anymore. We do have an update, but what are our thoughts so far?
I mean, I think you can, I wouldn't say you're an a-hole for feeling anything, you know?
Yeah.
It's just more like, it's hard. You're not in the same city, and, you know, you guys, I think it's just a discussion. You got to communicate. You got to be like, all right, so what's up? Like, she's kind of told you why you're not a bridesmaid, but, like, maybe dig a little deeper under it. It's hard to say, but, like, I would say you're an a-hole.
But we do have an update. So I wanted to update because things have blown up. This is going to be long. I found out about not being in the wedding a little over a week ago, so I had been stewing for a while when I made my last post. I was a little dishonest in the first post because I was already in the process of confronting her when I wrote it. I texted her early in the morning I posted and told her that I was disappointed by her lack of involvement in my wedding. She replied that she was sorry that I felt hurt, but that she had warned me about this when I first asked her. That is true. She also mentioned that she wasn't sure what else I wanted from her. She has done everything I asked, and that it seemed like Jim has everything handled for the bachelorette and hasn't reached out to her. Then I texted her about bridesmaids. She didn't text me back all day, so I called her that evening. The conversation really didn't go well. She said that she didn't reply because she was busy at work and honestly didn't know what to say. She said that she chose the people closest to her. She has also known the two friends I had falling out with since childhood, and her other two are her college roommate and her other friend from work she lived with in the past. She said that even when wedding details were murky, she knew that she'd ask them. I told her that I had always envisioned all of us planning our weddings together, and being left out of it was all pretty painful. Her reply hurt. She said that she was sorry that I was no longer friends with the two bridesmaids in her party. She truly wishes me no ill will from the past, but that they have their own valid reasons for ending our friendship. Then she said that she was honestly surprised that I asked her to be a part of my wedding, and that she wouldn't have been surprised if she didn't even get an invite. I spoke to my therapist the next day about it. She pretty much echoed what people said here, and I was putting way too much pressure on Jane and was inappropriately using her wedding as a friend reunion. Oh, and my fiance and I got into a huge fight about the wedding. I texted Jane after, and she was nice and listened to me rant, but it felt awkward. On top of it all, I got to see her post a lovely Instagram story about shopping for her wedding dress with all of her bridesmaids and getting drinks after.
So the read I'm getting off of this is you're just kind of upset that your friend's wedding is happening. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe this friendship breakup thing was maybe recent, and maybe OP's not over it and not accepting of it just yet. And yeah, she probably was hoping like maybe things will get better once they like hang out with me again, because she was the one like that was dropped. Everyone said that they didn't want to be friends with her. So she probably is feeling a little abandoned there. I am so over weddings. I wish I was eloping. I'm a little jealous that Jane seems to be having an awesome time planning hers. Making friends in your 30s is tough, but I thought I had a few close ones I could rely on. But I guess I was wrong. So thanks, Reddit. You tried to warn me, but I was already set on being the a-hole when I posted. My advice to people upset about bridesmaids and groomsmen: don't question their choices and accept whatever role that they want you to play in their wedding. And OP answered some questions on why they fell out with the 2 bridesmaids. Honestly, it was a bunch of dumb teenage and 20-something drama. Essentially, I moved to a city around the same time one of my friends was living there. I got involved in her friend group, and some guy she liked ended up liking me more. We dated, but he was clingy and got weird when I broke up with him. And after that, the group kind of imploded and everyone blamed me. After my one friend said that she no longer wanted to be in her life, the other one followed. I was supposed to grab dinner with her one day, and she delayed because she was hanging out with the one that hates me. I told her to forget it all and that she didn't have to see me if she didn't want to. I'll admit I was a bit dramatic in the past, but I've grown up a lot, and I had hoped that we could kind of forgive and forget. We all used to be so close, and I miss their friendship. But we do have another update. I picked someone who thought I was a close friend to be my bridesmaid. She's done what she's been asked to do, but hasn't gone above and beyond to do anything extra. She's also getting married later this year. I'm invited, but I'm not a bridesmaid. To make matters worse, 2 people I had a falling out with are in her wedding. We were all friends in high school. We're all in very early 30s now. And it hurts that they're all still friends and I'm being excluded. I had a big session with my therapist yesterday, and I realized that I had kind of strong-armed her into doing this. She tried to say no, that she would be too busy on her own wedding to give me the time and attention I needed, but I convinced her that it would be fine and that I wanted her to be a big part of my day. I think that she's an effing adult and could have said no, but what do I know? I'll admit I thought we were closer than we actually are in real life.
I'm sorry. You literally just went from my therapist told me, helped me understand that I actually strong-armed this person.
Yeah.
And then in the next breath being like, well, she's an effing adult. She could say no. It's like, well, yeah, but you kind of strong-armed her and harangued her into saying yes.
Yeah, I think that's a difficult situation because, like, sure, she is an adult and she could say no, even, like, no matter how pushy you are. But sometimes if people are pushy enough, you don't want to be rude because it's your wedding.
There's the reality of politic in like any given social situation, and it's like all this tells me is this keeps reading. It's like OP is like, how did all of this happen to me? Like, meanwhile, a lot of the things are direct results of OP's actions.
Yeah, I'll admit I thought we were closer than we actually are in real life. We were really close in high school, but drifted apart after college. I still considered her a close friend, even though we didn't talk much. I just feel like now she has this whole life without me, with all of these friends, and I'm left in the dust. Even seeing her bridal party makes me jealous. I feel like I didn't know who to ask, and she has 4 best friends that are bending over backwards for her. My friend posted this super cute Instagram story about her shopping with her friends for her dress and celebrating after. I got so upset, I cried and threw my phone across the room. I'm angry as heck at her and want to punt her out of the bridal party. I feel betrayed and used, but I don't know who else I would ask. I don't have a lot of friends, and my maid of honor is my guy friend from college. Why are bridesmaids even a thing? The whole idea is designed to make drama and hurt everyone's feelings. On top of it all, planning the wedding has been a nightmare. My parents, who are divorced, are using it as an excuse to try to outdo each other. My fiance's family is dysfunctional and don't like me much. His mom is a control freak and planned everyone else's wedding, and she's trying to do the same for mine. We keep arguing about the wedding and had a huge blow up about it yesterday. We're pouring so much money into this wedding, and I can't wait for it to be over. Can someone make me feel better? Post about their wedding drama and how everything worked out in the end? I'm at the end of my rope. My wedding is in less than 2 months, and I'm not excited about it at all. And we have yet another update.
Let's freaking go.
But how do we make her feel better? I don't know. Choices
you need
here.
to adjust your expectations.
Yeah.
And, you know, I suggest this to every single person who gets married. Have a secret wedding first and then have your big wedding that's expensive.
Yeah.
So if it all starts going wrong, you don't have to worry about your marriage being ruined because you already had a beautiful wedding, just the 2 of you.
Yeah, when she said something about wishing that she could elope, I immediately thought about that you would say secret wedding.
That is something I would say.
But we have another update. Hey y'all, I don't know if anyone remembers my Reddit meltdown from a month ago, but I've been getting some nice messages in my inbox asking me for an update. The truth is that not a lot has changed, and I'm still kind of miserable about the wedding. Things with my bridesmaids are awkward to say the least. I'm kind of embarrassed about how everything went down, and now I feel like she's kind of keeping me at a distance. She has her dress and has been good with updating me on her outfit and day of stuff, and texts to chat about how planning is going, but she's been tight-lipped about her wedding. If I ask her anything, she just says it's going good and leaves it at that. To make things worse, she's in full bride mode with her friends, and I keep seeing Instagram stories pop up with cute planning details. It's hard to not feel extremely jealous, left out, and angry when I see her making bouquets with her friends and chatting about taco bars for the reception. I don't want to say that fight ruined our friendship because it's clear that we just aren't that close anymore, but I really wish that I had just kept my mouth shut. My fiance's extended family is driving me nuts. They're asking about bringing plus ones when we're almost a month out from the wedding. I'm so pissed because I think it's rude to even ask, and that if it really was that important, they should have brought it up to me when they first learned about the wedding. My fiance also doesn't like to talk to me about the wedding anymore. He says that whenever I bring something up, we end up fighting, so he'd rather just stop talking about it, period. I know his family is pissing him off too, but he refuses to confront them in any way. He just says that this is the way that they are and that I need to learn how to deal with. So here I am, about a month out from my wedding, with pretty much zero enthusiasm for it. Things are awkward with my bridesmaid, my new family is pissing me off, and my fiance has pretty much shut down and refuses to deal with anything. I guess I updated because I just wanted a place to rant. Does anyone have any advice on how to not make my friend's wedding hurt me so much? Any stories about my weddings that weren't the magical days that they thought they were? Tips for dealing with fiancés that refuse to deal with their insane families? But we have yet another update on this. Some of you may remember me from a thread that I posted here a while back about being upset over not being a bridesmaid. My wedding has come and gone. Beautiful day despite some drama and hiccups. But my friend's is coming up and I have a new problem. Oh joy. The two women I'm no longer friends with are obviously planning her bridal shower and I'm invited. Interesting. When I saw my old friend's name on the invite, she's handling RSVPs, I panic a little bit. I called my friend and bridesmaid to make sure that it was okay for me to come. She said, of course, and that she didn't anticipate any drama.
So this is again, it's like OP's like, this was all high school, like early 20s drama. Now they're in their early 30s.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, OP's calling and saying, is it okay if I come? That is high school, early 20s activities.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
Don't phone call and be like, is there a problem?
Is there gonna be drama? Yeah. It's like, well, now there is. If you're gonna go about it this way, then
you're setting the stage for it. Just be an adult and go.
Exactly. She claimed that the two friends really had no ill will about what happened and that the day should be fun. There will be a lot of other people there to hang out with and it should be a good time. I asked if she thought that I should reach out to clear the air beforehand. She said it wasn't necessary. I asked her if she thought that it was a bad idea. She just repeated that it wasn't needed. I was feeling really anxious about it, so I decided to text both of the friends.
Oh my God.
OP! She just said you didn't need to do that.
OP, what are you doing?
My guy.
You're like, I don't want it to be dramatic. And then meanwhile, you do the most dramatic thing you could do.
Yeah.
You're just making it weird when it doesn't need to be.
I said that I was married now and was excited to reconnect and that I hoped that we could put all of our differences aside and be together for the bride and celebrate her. They responded with general, glad you can come, can't wait to celebrate the bride, and I was a little hurt.
God dang it, OP. Stop it.
I had hoped for something that was more reassuring that the day would be okay and that there would be no weirdness. When I told my husband how I felt, he was shocked that I even texted them. He claimed it felt like that message was actually trying to stir up drama.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think what I said was inappropriate or rude. I don't want my friend's day to be ruined because of some petty drama, and I don't want to feel uncomfortable during this.
Girl, it wasn't inappropriate or rude. It was just weird. That's all it was. It was weird. And it's not that you're trying to make it an issue again. It's that you've brought all that back up to the surface again.
And what I'm realizing too is if she's saying it's high school, early 20s drama, then it definitely didn't happen recently if they're in their early 30s.
Right.
This happened a while ago. So if so much time has passed, you should not be like, from what I'm assuming.
She could be saying that. She could also be saying like the nature of it was very high school, early
maybe
20s. But it's like, OP,
you are also in control of that.
Yeah, honestly. So not to put you on blast, but you are making a lot of poor decisions right now.
Yeah.
In terms of just making things chill.
Yeah. It's been hard enough seeing my friends post about all of the wedding fun that she's having. I just didn't want to walk into a bad situation. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for sending those texts? And do we have an answer for that?
Kinda. I mean, you're not even a-hole. You're just goofy.
You're just a silly goose. You're being an a-hole to yourself, I feel. Not being an a-hole to them at all, because it's not really anything bad. But
yeah, it's like it comes from this place of like, you're being an a-hole to yourself because you expect these things to happen, where it's like you sent this thing where clearly I guess they don't really care anymore. Maybe they might not care anymore, and you're worried that they're like, harboring all this stuff, so you bring it up and it's like they don't care, and you expected them to be like, oh my God, thank you for reaching out, it's so great that you said that, and it's like we're moving on and we love you, and it's like they're your expectations will set you up for disappointment.
Exactly. Like, even if they do care a little bit, I think they just still decided that they don't want to be friends. They're fine with that. You need to be too, because
I don't know.
Out of your control.
They invited you to the shower.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. But what would be huge of you to do is to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime, and you can find full episodes with more stories just like this one. There is a little bit more. I'm just going to jump right into it. There's a relevant comment from OP. Okay. My husband thought it was over the top. He said that the tone I took made it seem like they somehow weren't there to celebrate the bride when they're her bridesmaids, and that I was making the event about myself. TBH, my friend and bridesmaid has become a bit of a sore spot for the two of us. He's glad that she was a good bridesmaid and helped out a lot of the day of, but he thinks that I'm trying too hard to be best friends. It's not like I don't have other friends. I just really miss the way things were in high school and feel like I'm missing out on having deep and meaningful friendships with a history. There are some comments. Commenter number 1 says, I feel like there's a lot more to the story of why she's no longer part of her old friend group. And honestly, she sounds exhausting. I feel a bit bad for her though, as she's obviously lonely. And someone else responds, she says she used to be dramatic, but it is clear that she is still dramatic and over the top AF. Another person responds, I thought she was super young reading this, but she's in her 30s wishing for high school friendships. Another commenter says her line, she's an adult, so she could have said no to me about the wedding if she didn't want to be a part of it. Makes me wonder if she had said something like, he's his own person and can make his own choices about who he has feelings for, after flirting with a guy that her friend had a big crush on. Someone responds to that. In the same paragraph, she mentions the friend was having a soft no the whole time, and OP would not take no for an answer. So she admits that she did strong arm her, but in the next sentence puts blame on her bridesmaid again. She literally cannot hold herself accountable for her part in the situation. OP doesn't really know how to take personal responsibility for anything, in my opinion. This whole saga reeks of playing the victim in that, and I'm positive there is important information that would have better illustrated that left out. Someone else comments, Jesus, the OP sounds so ridiculously exhausting. Someone responds to that, after the second update, I was thinking, girl, take the hit and cut your losses already, but it wasn't even a hint at that point. Secondhand pity was off the charts. Another commenter says this is so infuriating to read because OP gets so close to acknowledging that her behavior is the problem and then just goes and keeps doing it anyway, and then proceeds to ask the internet why everyone is fed up with her. That's a great way to summarize that. But
Truly.
That is the end of that story.
That is the end of that
my
story.
gosh.
Sometimes you got to cut your losses.
You really do. If she's in her 30s and wants it to be like it was in high school. Listen, I don't know. I don't want to blame you, I guess, for wanting things to be how they were, but that's a long time. That's a long time to be, hoping for the past. So I'm sorry you feel like you need to be that far in the past to feel okay right now,
it's
but
less about being in the past and more it's like having these friendships and connections that have lasted so long.
Well,
a lot of people want that.
So that's what I'm thinking. It's like, I don't blame you for wanting that strong connection that you had in the past, but this specific one is in the past. You got to leave it there.
I refuse to have animals inside of my home. My friend got offended.
Why? Are you Cruella de Vil or something?
I don't like dogs. I never have been fond of them, but I don't judge people who have dogs as long as they are responsible. I have a group of friends and we host events at our house like parties, potlucks, game nights, etc. About 2 months ago, my friend got a service dog for her seizures and I was already planning on hosting a potluck. However, I didn't want a dog at my house. She sheds a lot. So I decided to choose a camping area where we could all have fun and enjoy ourselves. It would be so messed up to deny my friend from coming over with the dog that she needs. By the way, this comes from Waka Waka A, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So this has been going on ever since my friend, let's call her Sarah, got a service dog. Today was my turn to host, and one of my friends, let's call him Jacob, suggested we do a game night. I told him that I would rather have events outside of my house, and well, we don't have anything to connect my PS4 outside. I suggest maybe we could do a movie night instead and go out to the movies. Jacob was confused and asked why I stopped doing game nights at my house, and I explained that I don't want animals. I'm sorry, I said pets. That was wrong of me. I didn't catch that in my house, let alone a dog that sheds. No one batted an eye, but Sarah started to question me, asking if she's no longer welcomed in my house. I'm an ableist, and I told her I would rather host things outside of my house if she is going to need a service dog. The times we all spend together are arranged in advance. I chose to do things away from my house so I wouldn't have to have the service dog in my house. If I had the type of arrangement that meant coming over to my house, I would make myself put up with a hairy situation, but I don't have to do this current arrangement. Sarah was not having it and started calling me an ableist and unfair to her and her dog. She said I've changed ever since she got her service dog, and I was baffled by everything she was saying. We ended up not hosting anything, but it ended up being so awkward that everyone started to leave the group call. Honestly, can't tell if I should be ashamed of myself. Am I the a-hole? Edit, because I explained it horribly. I want to thank Agreeable League 366 for allowing me to use their comment to clear out the confusion I caused for a lot of people. See the comments below. Edit 2, I'm seeing several comments saying I should have told her beforehand. The thought of telling her that she and her dog aren't welcomed anymore, therefore no one else in the group is, just feels mean. But if anyone has suggestions on how I can word or future references, please feel free to do so. And I think we got Agreeable Leagues 366's comment here. My friends only come over if I'm hosting something. But if they did come over to my house to just hang out, then yeah, I put up with a service dog in my house. I think this is what was causing a lot of the confusion people are having. It's like saying if she came over to hang, I'd let the dog in. Instead, I believe you mean that the times you all spend together are arranged in advance, so you can choose to do things away from your house so you don't have to have the dog in your house. If you had a different type of relationship, you would make yourself put up with a hairy situation, but you don't have to in your current type of relationship. Wow, I just made that as clear as mud, didn't I? You're right, it's hard to put into words. Anyway, if you don't want a dog in your house, you don't have to. It seems like it's putting a strain on your relationship though. Maybe from how you worded it combined with some new behavior you are exhibiting without realizing it that she has picked up on, she's become offended. Not the a-hole. You might need a one-on-one with her to fix your relationship, just not at your house. Because the dog would have to come too.
Listen, honestly, thinking about that a lot more, I feel like OP isn't really doing anything crazy wrong. You know, like he's not saying we can't hang out anymore because now you have a dog and I don't want your dog around. They're saying like, yeah, let's still do these group hangouts. I would just prefer to not have a dog in my house, so let's just do them somewhere else. You know, like that seems perfectly acceptable because
I mean planning it in advance.
Yeah, and if this is usually like the hosting house, like I don't know, I get how that can probably feel uncomfortable. As what was it, Sarah that had the dog? That can probably feel uncomfortable being like, oh, it's because of me that we can't go to this house anymore.
Yeah.
That would feel bad. So maybe just a conversation with her one-on-one.
Yeah,
but
we got an update throwaway here because people know my regular account. I'm honestly still shocked about everything that has happened. All was fine for a couple of days or so. Thought Sarah showed up uninvited, never happened before, and I don't like uninvited guests, but I let it slide this one time because she was my friend with her service dog, golden retriever, and what I believe her mom's regular pet, husky mix. So she brought 2 dogs. The husky was panting and trying to jump on me, but I would back away and slightly hold the door closed while poking my head out. For now, Sarah was holding back from his collar. Keyword for now. I asked her what's up, and she said she wanted to drop off some cookies for me. I smiled and thanked her because I thought it was nice. She even made them herself. She said she also wanted to pick up something that Ed, part of the friend group of 4, left here, like a keychain or a small decoration. I'll call it a keychain because it looked like a keychain to me. Ed lives the farthest, so supposedly Sarah came over to pick it up for him and give it to him on the day she hosts when it was her turn. I told her sure and asked how it looked. She waltzed around with both of the dogs, and I stopped her and asked, whoa, what are you doing? She looked at me confused and said, I'm going to get Ed's keychain. I told her if she wanted to personally get it herself, she cannot bring the big dog inside, only her service dog. So take that dog outside. She made a frowny face and said, he's an emotional support dog. I told her that it is not the same and that I won't allow him inside. She pouted and said, fine, just let me text Ed and let him know it'll take a little longer. From there, she set both of her leashes down and her husky went bonkers. Needless to say, I punted her out and her mom's dog made a whole mess, including jumping on me and licking my face. I still can't get over the fact that he broke the vase my mother, who is no longer with us, gave me. It was so beautiful and I've had it for 12 years. Sarah apologized and I got her the keychain, which I could have easily brought her over and given to Ed. That cleaned around for a bit and took a shower. At night, I decided to snack on the cookie and heck broke loose for a while after eating them. I ate like 10, effing started to swell up and struggled to breathe. So I went to look for my EpiPen. I haven't used it in a long time, but my dumb butt couldn't remember where I put it. But when I did, I used it immediately and headed to the hospital in case my allergies stayed once the EpiPens were off.
Oh my gosh. She poisoned him. Oh my gosh.
This woman... Dude, what?
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and hope that it's an accident.
No.
But if they've been friends for a while, come on.
Okay. Before we keep going, one, Angie, you know I don't like it whenever you bring your dogs to my house.
Sure.
Because Juno, which is a husky, is very hairy and I don't like it. And you also know I have a peanut allergy.
Right.
So you come over to my house with both dogs running around.
Yeah.
And you give me peanut cookies.
Of course.
And you're giving her the benefit of the doubt right now.
Maybe she doesn't know about the allergy.
How you literally said they've been friends for a while.
Well, I know. That's why I'm part of me. I want to believe that this is a mistake and that she didn't just straight up poison OP.
No, there was malicious intent. It's a keychain.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't just stay outside.
Yeah.
And just wait for him to get it or her. We don't actually know OP's gender, but I wish that she just would wait.
I got home with my medication and another EpiPen, which I will bring with me at all times from now on after that traumatic nightmare. As upset as I was about Sarah being cold to me for even bringing her mom's emotional support dog to my house, I still gave her the benefit of the doubt and thought she forgot that I had a nut allergy. I brought it up in text and told her what happened. She apologized and acted all mortified. Conversation later shifted when she mentioned the whole, why can't I come in with my dogs? Bro, you literally tried to kill me.
We've talked about this so many times.
I repeated to her that her service dog can come in, not a pet dog. It became an argument, and she dropped a bomb on me with a huge wall of text. In the end, she said, and I quote, copy paste, this is why I put pecans in your effing cookies. If you want to play ableist, then so will I.
Oh!
Smiley face.
Oh my gosh. She did do it on purpose.
And by the way, you will be an ableist if you don't go to your favorite podcast platform, type in OK Storytime, and look at all the stories we have for you. Don't be an ableist like this guy.
You can't accuse them of that. It's not the same.
To me it is.
It's not the same.
Anyways.
But do it anyway, but...
Can we sue?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, honestly, like, at least, like, he went to the hospital. He could sue for hospital bills. We've got text proof that she was doing this on purpose and totally lying about it.
Yeah, and it sounds like OP's got a little touch of OCD here from what I've seen.
I mean, maybe.
I know they don't like dog hair. I don't know, but...
Well, I mean... You could just like things being clean.
I'm just throwing stuff out here. I can't diagnose anybody.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I want to now. I'm diagnosing OP with this. So it's a respect thing, and it seems like he's gone above and beyond to accommodate this person to be a part of the friend group, even though he's not comfortable with the dog in their house. But this person is just throwing big words around that aren't real.
Yeah, like they had this whole conversation about him not wanting like the dogs at all in his apartment, and then she was like ableist, had that whole fight, and then it sounds like eventually now he's come around and he's like, you know what, fine, like your pet dog can come in, I understand that. Like I respect you and your disability and what you need to support that and everything, just know like pet dog, like that's the only
pet
reason it's allowed
dog.
Yeah, the only reason it's allowed is because you need it, you don't need an emotional support pet dog like this.
Last little bit here, a bit of context. Sarah was diagnosed with BPD. Please be aware that not everyone with BPD is like this. So I understand how she feels because I have BPD myself. This has gone way too far. I've been contemplating on whether I should file claims or not. And I know that sounds stupid. We've been friends since middle/high school, so of course she knows. But I've always seen her as a really close sister. But this friend wanted to harm me, and it hurt so much that she went this far for revenge. Anyways, I'm taking legal action tomorrow, and maybe I'll give an update about this, but as of now, I got screenshots and have blocked her everywhere, and I'm still keeping a low profile so she doesn't delete the messages, hopefully.
What my gosh. Yeah, please do. I really would love to know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
What the
Because she didn't even try to harm you. She did. She absolutely did. She literally came in with the poison apple. It was like, hello, little lady. Like, can I give you this apple for being such a sweet, kind princess? Turns out that old lady was actually the evil witch or the evil queen. So what the heck, man?
This account has been suspended.
What?